Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about something that really matters. Something very important. What a narcissist, a truly narcissistic person, will never ever do in a genuine relationship. So let us walk through this together, and I hope by the end of it, you will see things a little more clearly. One of the first things you will notice about such a person is their absolute inability to apologize. Normal, ordinary people, we all get it wrong sometimes. We lose our temper. We break a promise. We say something hurtful, and then we apologize. And we do that because that is how we show respect. That is how we show we care. But the narcissist, they do not do that. Not in any real way. They simply cannot admit fault. Their entire self-image, their entire being depends on them believing they are always right. Completely and utterly right. So when they do say sorry, it is often not an apology at all. It is a disguised insult. Something like, "I am sorry you are so sensitive." Which of course is not an apology. It is a very, very cunning way of blaming you. And alongside this, there is something else. They do not forgive, not truly. In their world, every single slight, no matter how small, is a personal attack. Every disagreement is a battle, and they never ever really let it go. Forgiveness takes humility. It takes real strength. But to them, forgiveness looks like weakness. It appears weak, so instead they carry grudges, sometimes for years. And they use those grudges, those stored up resentments, to punish the people around them. And here is another thing, and this is very, very important. They do not self-reflect. To look inward means facing shame. It means facing rejection. It means facing the parts of yourself that are broken. And that takes courage. Real courage. Most people, if they are honest with themselves, can do this. They can reflect. They can admit their mistakes. And they can grow. But for the narcissist, introspection, looking inward, is simply unbearable. Underneath the surface, there is a very, very wounded child. A wounded child full of shame and full of fear. And they will do absolutely anything to avoid meeting that child face to face. That is why they absolutely explode when they are criticized. That is why they avoid any sort of honest conversation. Because vulnerability for them is the most dangerous territory of all. And this, of course, makes intimacy impossible. Yes, they might talk endlessly about themselves. They might demand attention. But when it comes to expressing what they really feel, they hide. They just cannot risk it. They keep the mask on. They perform instead of connect. They can demand love, but they cannot return it. It is also worth saying this. They do not see life with any nuance. They see in extremes. It is black or white. It is win or lose. It is idolize or destroy. So relationships for them become absolute battlefields. They see everything as a game of control. And in that game, there is no middle ground. There is no compromise. There is no genuine understanding. People ask me, can a narcissist change? And it is a very, very hard question to answer. But the reality is most cannot. Because change requires reflection. It requires vulnerability. And those are the very things they absolutely run from. Even therapy struggles to help them. Because therapy demands honesty. And they are absolutely terrified of it. So here is what you need to know, what you must understand. If you are with a narcissist, it is not about you failing them. It is about them being fundamentally unable to meet the basic needs of a healthy relationship. They are not wired that way, and no amount of patience or kindness on your part can ever rewire them. Their condition was formed in childhood. Somewhere along the way, the authentic self was pushed aside. It was replaced by a hardened shell, a mask built for sheer survival. And survival for them is the only game they know. That is why they seem so incapable of selflessness. Why they cannot forgive. Why they cannot handle intimacy. Why they deflect all blame. Everything is filtered through that desperate survival mindset. So here is the absolute truth. If you are waiting for them to suddenly apologize or to forgive or to open up with real vulnerability, you will wait forever. They live in a distorted, twisted world, and they cannot see what you see. The best thing you can do, the most sane thing you can do, is to stop expecting them to act in ways they simply cannot. Protect yourself, keep your energy, and learn to see the very, very hard limits of what they can offer. Because those limits will not and cannot change. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I will see you in the next one.